Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're a regular subscriber, this is Mike with Everything About Concrete. I really appreciate you guys that tune in and watch all my videos. I mean, you guys are great. Thank you for doing that. If you're new to my channel, well, like the title says, my channel's Everything About Concrete. All we do is pour and finish concrete. We do stamp concrete. We do patios, pool decks. We do a lot of floors like this. So if you like that kind of stuff, please go ahead down there and hit subscribe now. Now, today's a pretty typical day for us. Every single morning, we're usually pouring concrete for something. And we do a lot of these residential house floors. We have a lot of contractors that just hire us to come in and do their floors. They do the foundations, but they don't like to do the floors. So we specialize in doing these concrete floors, and we do a ton of them. And today is just a regular day for us. You know, we pour a lot of these big houses. This is a pretty good size house. It's got about 2,500 square feet, like I said in the beginning of the video. And for where we live up here in Maine, that's a pretty good size house. It's a walkout. We call this type of foundation a walkout foundation or a daylight basement. Let me know if you guys call them something different down in the comments. What do you guys call these type of foundations like this? And if you live in an area where you don't have foundations, where basically you just have slabs, let me know where you're from. You know, put that down. Put your state down. Put your country down in the comments, and let me know. Most all the houses that we do, probably 75% of them have a foundation like this. And then maybe 25% are just on a regular concrete slab with no foundation. Now we're using our regular mix today. It's a 3,500 PSI mix. It's got microfiber in it. It's got a high range water reducer in it. And that allows us to pour it at a pretty good loose slump, a workable slump that we like working with. Somewhere's in between a 6 and a 7 slump with that high range water reducer. So that's a normal pour for us. This thing was pretty long. It was 80 feet long. And this main area was about 25 feet wide. Now we're working for Garrett Bub Davis today. He's the builder up there. If you want to follow the build, then go ahead down there and check his channel out. I'll have a link for it down in the description. Subscribe to him. He's kind of new on YouTube, so check him out and you can follow this whole build from start to finish. Now I'm in there. I've got my small screed. I'm getting around those pipes. We don't usually use the vibrating screed around the pipes. We're using MBW's Screed Demon today, the battery powered one. And that thing is just the way to go when you're doing flat work like this. If you've never tried one, I would highly recommend getting one. I was taught just to kick screed, and back in the day we've never used vibra screeds or power screeds or anything like that. We kick screeded everything. So I was pretty sold on just doing it that way. And then quite a few years ago now, we tried one of those power screeds, and I don't know, it was okay. But then we got these MBW ones, and I had a gas-powered one, and I still have it, before the battery one. And then when we tried the battery one, it was like, oh boy, this thing's the way to go. It's just so lightweight, and with the slump that we use, it makes screeding so much easier for us. So I would highly recommend getting one of those. I do have a link for that down in the description if you want to check it out. But MBW's battery-powered Screed Demon. You watch Darren here as he screeds. We always strike our wet pads by hand, and then we use the battery-powered one for the main areas. You can just see how easy that is. It's really nice when you got two guys behind you that really know how to rake too. I mean, that's really what makes it easy. But pulling down the mud with that thing is the way to go versus bending over and kick screeding. That's got a 12-foot board on it too. They got all kinds of different size boards you can put on it. But so far, I mean, that's 2 trucks down right there. So that's 2 10.5 yarders, 21 yards we got dumped already. It's been about 30 minutes or so. What's nice on these big ones, when they don't have too many pipes, is you can really dump a truck out pretty fast and get it out of there and get it back to the concrete plant. They sent us out 3 straight trucks, so he batched out 3 trucks as fast as he could. And then, I told him this would be a fast dump, so get them right to us. We'll dump them right out, get them right back to you, which is what they like. And we got that little upper piece too. Now I'm going to have the upper piece I showed you earlier, I'll show you here at the end of the video. And also, I'm going to show you the complete finishing process too. I videoed that, and then I sped it up so you can see just what kind of like our day goes as we finish this and we get the sawed contraction joints in it and all that. So stay tuned for that. So now we're on to the last truck, and this last truck is going to finish this, plus it's going to do the upper piece up above. What's nice about being able to tailgate like this is it really makes the pouring really easy. We don't need a pump, don't need the conveyor truck. We can just back the truck right up, get it right out of the chute. Now, a lot of our trucks are rear dumps for this company that we use, and some of the companies in Maine do have the front dumps And those are nice too, but this company is really local to us. It's really close by, so we use it a lot, and we don't mind having the rear dumps. It's just something we're used to. Most of you guys, I know, you don't even have rear dumps, so if you don't ever use rear dumps, it's all you use is front dumps. Let me know where you're from in the comments, and let me know if it's just the front dumps you like. Do you have good drivers? Do you have drivers that are harder to work with? Because personally, I just like controlling the chute myself, how fast it comes out, how fast I move the chute, where I pull the driver ahead and all that. I'm just used to doing that, and sometimes that makes less work for you. You're going to be able to see here how Darren, this is about the typical speed we go when we use this. So, I mean, it's not crazy fast, but it's definitely not slow either. We can screed a 12 by 10 area in about 15 or 20 seconds, so it's really not too slow. And it's really quiet too. It's very quiet, really lightweight, like I said. We use Milwaukee batteries in this. I got a 5 amp battery in there, and that'll last for 3 or 4 floors before I have to recharge it easily. So Harvey's here helping us. Harvey just helps us out once in a while. He works for himself, but sometimes when we need an extra guy, we just call him and he shows up, and he's great about that. So we're lucky to be able to have somebody like Harvey just to show up. He knows, he's been doing concrete for a long time, so he knows everything about concrete. Now I'm going to just quickly show you this upper piece. We're doing this also. I'll have this on another video. Actually, it's on a training video, and it's going to be on the training video in my Concrete Underground training course. So if you want to learn how to pour and finish concrete like we do, check out the Concrete Underground below. So here's kind of a typical finishing day for us. You can see how the sun, it's about probably 9:30 in the morning now. We got done pouring at 8:30ish, and this is about an hour and a half later. So between 9:30 and 10, that part in the sun starts drying really fast. And then the part in the shade barely dries at all. I mean, it's going to be like finishing 2 floors here. So Darren's going to have to, keep up with the sun area and keep working back into the shade with the power trowel. We're also using MBW's high torque power trowel here. That's a really nice power trowel, and it's got the combo blades on it. So the good thing about combo blades on a floor like today is you can keep going over the part in the sun that's drying really fast and getting hard, but also keep working into the shade where it's softer, and not have to change back and forth between float blades and finish blades. That's what's good about having combo blades. So you can see how they get that hit, and then they wait and let it set up a little bit more, and then they come back and they hit it again. And that's part of the process of finishing. You don't just keep going over it and over and over it. Once you hit it, a lot of times you got to let it dry up a little bit before you hit it again. And that part in the sun out there is drying more. It's drying more than twice as fast as the part in the shade. That's the tricky part when you come to finishing and you got sun and shade like this. You can kind of see how the sun's moving, and how this corner back here, towards us where the power trowel is right now, is going to just stay in the shade. And that's going to be the longest part of finishing here. It's going to take the longest to dry up on them. So they do their edges by hand. They take a steel trowel, go around and do their edges, and then they feather it in there with a power trowel. You can see Darren's kind of going around getting they let that shade part set up a lot longer than they do the sun part. The part in the sun now is a little bit darker. You can see that's kind of shined out. That's done. And these guys, they're going to hit it one more time, I believe, and then they're going to start snapping their chalk lines, and you'll see how they saw this thing up. It's pretty cool. You can see how long they leave this. They probably left that, 45 minutes. They let it just sit there in the shade and let it cure up before they hit it this last time. And then they'll go, Luke kind of measured out there for the saw lines. They'll snap their chalk